Hello YouTube, Kraegan here. This is episode 5 of my Dyson Sphere series program, or Dyson Sphere program series. That's a better way of saying it. And if you remember in the last episode, we got our thermal power stations up and running, and we are back now looking at our research facility to see if we can make any improvements here. And what I think I'm going to do, I'm actually going to double the amount of labs that we have in an effort to speed up the research even more. We've got enough power now. We should be able to really fast track this research. And if you figure 60 hashes a second per lab, with the amount of labs we're going to have set up, we should do 720 hashes a second. Which is pretty good for, you know, the blue cube technologies that we need to research. We do need to, we're going to need to change the conveyors. If you remember in the earlier episodes, I told you I was going to set this up temporarily like this, and that we would have to do something different with these conveyor belts. Well, we're at that point where we're going to have to change these so that we can get all of the buildings supplied with coils and circuit boards. So probably the easiest thing to do here would be to pull some conveyor belts maybe out the back. I'm gonna need more. I don't have a whole lot there. Steal some resources there. Okay. So if I put them in the back and then I wrap them around this building, I gotta get rid of that guy. Put it somewhere else. I'll just get rid of those and replace them with a Tesla tower. Should work just fine. Don't really need those wind turbines now anyway. They're providing a little bit of the power, but not enough to make a difference. Well, I thought I would just bring this one right over the top of the one that's there, but you know, what actually might be a better way of doing this is to get rid of this conveyor and then take the conveyor belt. I've got room here for 2 parallel belts, so I can just bring them around like this. I can bring this one up like this and see if I have enough to go all the way across to the end. Okay. And there we go. So we'll let our drones build that. Then we'll need to create some sorters so we can sort components into the building so it'll start doing what we need it to do. I'm pretty happy with the way this design turned out, though. It's not bad. You know, I haven't really watched anybody else's videos on this game, so there could be some, I'm sure there's a lot of different ideas about how to do this, but I think it's really just, in this game, it's what works best for you. You know, you've got a problem, you approach it in different ways. There's no right way or wrong way, as long as you solve the problem. So that's kind of my take on the game. So stuff's flowing along pretty good now. I put 2 sorters on the circuit boards because those are going to come out a little bit slower. See, they're definitely coming out slower than the coils are. So the coil line is already full, and the circuit board line isn't. It's alright. Gotta make sure that we switch these new buildings to research so that they'll start researching what we need. And our power's looking good. Something not right here though. So we've got our newest Tesla tower. It'll actually recharge your mech if you're near it when you put it down. Let's see what else we can. We're pretty much done with this area. We've got everything producing. I'd like to speed up those circuit boards if I could. I'm going to put a third one on there. It's a little bit faster. I mean, it'll work. Let's see what else we can research. Okay, so we're going to need a chemical plant to build some components that we're going to need down the road. So, and still our power's doing pretty good with having everything turned on. So that's working really well. Okay, we've got our fluid storage. That also includes a water pump that'll pump seawater out into the storage tank, which is one of the components we need to make one of the products that we're going to be using later on in the game. And really the next goal is going to be to create an oil refinery, extraction and refinery. And probably foundation tiles too. Those are created using steel and iron ingots, I believe. So we'll need to research steel, and that has to be made in a smelter. So that's going to be a one that we have to do in a smelter. But that's okay. We can do that. This is our splitter, which is going to help us down the road. There's going to be some buildings where we need to, take one line in and split it off into two. Actually, that could help us in our current situation here, but we don't have one. Why? So that building doesn't seem to be producing anything. Oh, I see what the problem is here. Yeah, I see what the problem is. It's producing stuff, it's just not moving it over to the research facility, so it's getting stuck in that building. There we go. Okay. Let me guess the other one's like that too. Yeah, probably. Okay. So that's why our research speed was low, because we weren't getting all of the research buildings fed with blue cubes. Well, that makes sense. Always make sure you put your sorters on, guys. That's a good tip right there. You can see it. Alright, well that's going to be it for this episode, you guys. This is episode 5 of my Dyson Sphere program. We're going to just keep going. We got our, as you can see, we're getting more on our hashes per second there. And our power grid still looks good. So the next episode we are going to start on our oil refinery and probably our formation, our foundation, not formation, foundation tiles. So I'll see you in the next episode. If you like this episode, hit a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in episode 6. Kraegan out.